Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Screen Org. In Storage Wars, the bidders never know quite what they're going to get when they're competing for a locker. Sometimes there's hidden treasure, sometimes just a pile of rubbish, and just occasionally there's an item or collection of items that makes the winning bidder stand back and feel awkward. They are forced to think that why did they make the bid in the first place? Today we have a very special video for you guys. Today we'll be looking at 11 most awkward moments on Storage Wars. But before we start, I want you to hit that red subscribe button to enter our monthly shout out giveaway. Just comment saying I subscribed and we'll enter you into the giveaway automatically. Number 1. News of Elvis Presley's death. News of Elvis Presley's death in 1977 spread far and wide. This box of newspapers announcing Presley's untimely demise is probably not the only one out there, but the collection was rare and worth about $90,000. However, it couldn't have got any more awkward than this. The last thing that a person would like to make money from is the death news of an artist. Number 2. Snakes alive. Storage Wars' Brandon Sheets got more than he bargained for when he entered his freshly won locker, only to find a whole nest of albino Burmese pythons. The snakes, which can survive for a fair while without food, were being bred in the locker to be sold on as exotic pets. Number 3. Locker number 007, presumably. A Long Islander won himself a storage locker for a $100 bid and was surprised to find a weird looking car inside, hidden under a pile of blankets. The car was a Lotus Esprit S1, but instead of wheels it had weird fins. Baffled by their find, the winning car bidder and his son loaded the car onto a trailer and towed it away. It was on the journey home that a fellow motorist shouted to them wanting to know what they're doing with the James Bond car. It turned out that the vehicle was indeed the Lotus submarine car driven by Roger Moore in the 1977 Bond film, The Spy Who Loved Me. The car went on to sell at an auction for more than $1 million US. Number 4. So that's where I left it. Mr. Shannon Wisnort purchased the contents of a storage locker which contained a barbecue smoker. Upon getting his new barbecue home and set up in his garden, Shannon lifted the lid and found a large object wrapped in tinfoil. Unwrapping the aluminium package, Mr. Wisnort was understandably shocked to discover a human leg inside. Uncooked, I should add. After reporting his find to the police, the former owner of the locker, Mr. John Wood, was tracked down. It turned out that Mr. Wood had his leg severed in a plane crash in 2004 and had opted to keep the limb so that it could be buried with him when he eventually died. He had, however, forgotten where he had stashed the limb for safekeeping. Number 5. Face value. Who knew dollar bills without faces would still be worth money? In 2011, a Storage Wars bidder paid $400 US for a locker only to discover that an old trunk inside contained $24,000 in cash. What was weird, eerie even, about the money was that all the faces had been cut out of the notes. The serial numbers still being intact, however, the cash was still deemed legal tender. They basically bought free money. It was awkward at first when they didn't really know that the money has not lost its worth. Number 6. Locker or mausoleum. In January of 2012, members of the Bunch family were informed that they had missed too many payments on the storage unit that they had been renting in the U-Store self-storage in Clearwater, Florida, and that the contents were to be sold at auction to cover costs. The Bunch family protested vehemently because, as it turned out, that was where Grandma Bunch had been entombed. Mrs. Ann Bunch, born 1900, died of natural causes at the age of 95. Her body was embalmed and prepared for burial by a funeral home in Alabama soon after. Instead of being inhumed in a family plot, however, Mrs. Bunch's coffin was instead stored in the family locker. Number 7. Crap from a whale. Brandon Sheets seemed to have a string of luck when it comes to finding the truly bizarre in his storage locker buys. One purchase earned him a jar full of, as so he eloquently put it, crap from a whale. The not so pleasing find went on to be tested by experts to discover just how it had melted. As for how it ended up in the locker, well, that's still a mystery. Number 8. Voodoo magic. Another creepy find. Storage Wars bidder Brandy Passant purchased a storage unit for $900, and after pulling out a tool chest with roughly $100 worth of tools, a heater worth $80, and a number of other odds and ends, she pulled out a single box containing a slew of strange items. The voodoo stuff found included a deer skull, human hair, chicken bones, statues, and various items made from animal parts. The bad juju voodoo locker ended up paying off, with Passant making a decent profit. Number 9. Dealt a bad hand. One bidder, Jesse McClure, got a few extra sets of helping hands when they opened the door of their newly bought locker. Hidden away in the unit was a large sculpture of a hand. Behind that giant hand were more hands, including small doll hands, a clock with a picture of a hand, a number of posters featuring hands on them, and even a jar containing what seemed to be a real human hand in formaldehyde. Thankfully, the hand turned out to be fake. Number 10. Mysterious Coffin. In one of the creepiest storage locker finds, Malcolm McDowell and Gary Buzzy found themselves starring in their own horror movie. Hidden away in their winning bid locker was a single coffin, which by some scary coincidence was padlocked. Any questions that were raised by them weren't answered when the coffin was eventually opened, revealing an empty suit and an empty urn. Number 11. Brony Locker. Another one of Brandy Passant's winning bid lockers may have previously belonged to a Brony. After purchasing the locker with husband Jared Passant for $50 in season 6, the couple hit the My Little Pony jackpot. Stored away in the unit was a treasure trove of the My Little Pony memorabilia, including a box full of figurines and toys and a giant pink My Little Pony plushie. Number 12. Wooden Head. Barry Weiss's $1,525 storage unit turned out something peculiar. Hidden in a box in a corner behind large furniture, Weiss discovered a large wooden head. Noggin boasting real glass eyes, real dentures, and a small window pane in the back that peered into a scene going on in the man's head. After consulting an expert, Weiss learned that the storage find was a piece of art by California-based wood sculptor and painter Mike Meadow. The piece turned out to be valued at $6,000. This brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Also, make sure you guys check out the 2 videos you're seeing on screen right now. With that said, I'll see you guys in the next video.